We're going to talk about tonight's game against the Packers in Lambeau. We're going to talk about Micah Parsons and his will to play in the cold, okay? And we're also going to talk about Jaire Alexander's potential. Now, we all know what we think, but we're going to get it from a Ravens content creator's perspective. And it might add a little bit of confirmation to what we all think is going to happen. But we're going to talk about all that and more. Keep it locked. Let's get it.
You didn't want to give us nothing, so therefore we got to go take it. I don't need to say no more. Give me my darn theme music.
Welcome to the DY Prods channel. I am your guy, DY Fly. What it do? We are back from the bye, ready to put Green Bay out of their misery and make a run at this back-to-back campaign so we can become back-to-back champions. We're going to get into all the news and notes or whatever, but first I just want to give a shout out to my little cousin Zion. I got some good news yesterday, and I heard that he is a converted Philadelphia Eagles fan.
This is culturally inappropriate.
That's right. For a minute in my family, it's been just me on the front lines representing the midnight green and the Kelly green. But now, you know, my little cousin, his mom hit me up yesterday with the good news. Just, you know, shout out to moms. And shout out to Pops too. But his mom's hit me up yesterday and said, you know, Zion, we play Madden or whatever, and he always wants to play with Philadelphia and Jalenhurts. And that happens to be his favorite player, Jalen Hitman Hurts.
The excellence of execution.
And I don't blame him. You know, he sees what this winning is talking about. You know, he's just a young pup, but it seems like his decision making is already top tier. You know, I just got to give him props, but we're going to have to lace him with some merch. We're going to have to lace him with some Jalen Hurts and some, you know, Kelly Green and Midnight Green. You know, as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do, you know, we're going to hook him up. We're going to hook him up. But shout out to my cousin for just being on point and making great decisions. And there's a game going on tonight, so you know you got to let the boy watch. All right? Let him stay up late. Let the boy watch.
Let the boy watch.
But before I came on here, the news broke. Brian Daboll, Uncle Fester, is out of there. John Mara and the Giants finally put this bum out of his misery. One thing that makes me mad is that game that we had at MetLife, we gave him 2 weeks more of life than he should have had. You know, that's the thing that really makes me mad. It's just like, yo, we could have got him up out of here a long time ago if we would have won that game in MetLife. But you know what? It is what it is. The Giants, they did the right thing. They cleaned the house. They're trying to save their young quarterback from really getting killed out there. So shout out to the Giants for doing the right thing. They have a bright future if they end up putting it all together and if they change that field, the field turf at their stadium. But before we talk about tonight's game, we're going to talk about Jaire Alexander. He's not going to travel with us for the game. You know, with the Eagles, we really keep our players out. If there's an injury or whatever, if they're supposed to come back in week 10, we'll keep them out until week 11 to make sure they are 110% ready to go. So I'm not shocked about this, but I want to play a clip from the Wonderkin Show. Shout out to the Wonderkin Show. He is a Ravens content creator. He called this about a couple weeks ago, and I've just been following him, just making sure to see if it held up, and I wanted to see what he had to say. But since the trade went down, let's hear what he had to say.
Jaire Alexander, before the season started, everybody that had went to the practices had said multiple times that he was the best corner that day or in practice. Even if he had an off practice, they were getting some stuff on him, everyone said, nah, he's the best corner. Yeah, he attacks the ball. He makes it hard on guys. He wins a lot of reps. That's what was said. Then we go into the regular season. We barely see him. Now, it's said on us that, hey, it's because he's injured and all this other injury stuff, right? Remember, this is why I do not believe when the Ravens try to tell me certain things about injuries. Okay. But then Jaire Alexander, now that he has been traded to the Eagles, he has something to say about it. And he was not disrespectful or anything, but he spoke on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio and the video of it. And we're going to break it down even further, okay? So without further ado, let's go see exactly what he said so we can make our point. And if you like more content like this, please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. All right, guys, let's check into it.
But yeah, go like and subscribe to him. He does good work.
I'm feeling good, really good.
Why do you think in Baltimore things didn't seem to work out in terms of getting on the field?
Well, I think they just had some guys they wanted to play, some young guys, but I'm excited about this opportunity here.
So it wasn't a physical thing. You feel like ready to go and get out
Oh,
there?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What do you think you can?
So you already said there. I'm gonna play it one more time just because it was short. I'm gonna play it one more time. So I'm gonna point out some stuff in it.
Basically, I'm feeling good, really good.
Feeling
Why do you
good.
think in Baltimore things didn't seem to work out in terms of getting on the field?
Well, I think they just had some guys they wanted to play.
See right there, we said I just think that they had some guys that they wanted to play. Same thing with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, right? It was the same thing when we had J.K. Dobbins, right? Keegan Mitchell, right? Ben Cleveland, right? I'll let it rock though.
Some younger guys,
He's my guy.
but I'm excited about this opportunity here.
So it wasn't a physical thing. You feel like ready to go and get out
Oh,
there?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What do you think?
And then he clarifies at the very end that, look, it wasn't physical at all. It wasn't physical. So that entire time when they kept telling us, he was injured and his knee's not really healing the way it was supposed to, they were lying through their teeth. Now, look, guys, I always hope the best for players. I really do. If you guys allowed a talent that becomes one of the best, he's back to being one of the top 8 corners in the league, top 10 corners in the league, and you just let him off the field of your team, and not even allowing him to get on the field while he was on your team, somebody got to get fired. Somebody got to get fired. Because once again, how would the Eagles coach know this? I mean, the GM. How would the GM know this?
Huh? Who's our GM?
Who put this thing together? Me. That's who.
That's right. That's right. So listen, we're all assuming that his health has been an issue. It seems like that Jair is really, he's amped. He's ready to go. He's ready to contribute to this back-to-back repeat. So I'm looking forward to what Jair has left in the tank. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table. I think we found our cornerback too. Yeah, moving on to Micah Parsons. So we got news today that in the Micah Parsons trade between the Cowboys and the Packers, that there was basically a blockage that the Packers cannot trade Micah to the Eagles later in the future, before 2028. Green Bay would lose a first-round draft pick to Dallas if that happened, or any team in the NFC East for that matter. So it looks like Jerry, he got one over, and it's, Jerry did what he's supposed to do. Jerry?
That's not a negative on Micah.
It's not a negative on Micah. Oh, Micah. But let's talk about old Micah. Let's take a look back of when he first got traded to the Green Bay Packers. Let's just take a look. All right, we see him. He's jumping around in a t-shirt and some shorts in warm Dallas in the middle of summer, right? We see how ecstatic he is. He finally got his wish and he got up out of Dallas. Now, I've been to Dallas. Dallas is a very nice place. I've never been to Green Bay, but it looks cold and it looks miserable in the winter, especially in the winter, okay? Now, will he still have that same enthusiasm when it is, -10, really chilly? You see what he's wearing right now, right? You see what he's wearing. Will he still have his same enthusiasm to play in the cold if they're losing? Now, they're not going to have a losing record, I don't think. But will he still have if they lose to the Eagles, which he seems like he can't keep our names out his mouth. So will he still have the will to play when we put him in the blender like we usually do when we play him? Put him in that RPO action, and then he's not going to know what to do, right? Now, the Green Bay Packers, they acquired him thinking that this is the piece to take him over the top, but they didn't have enough pieces around him for those guys to get over the top. Their offense is decent. Josh Jacobs, he's dealing with an injury. We're going to talk about all that. But the point is, I don't know about Micah. Micah's petty, and this is going to be a different environment than what he's used to when being down in Dallas, because Dallas is a nice place, and it's warm, and it ain't Green Bay. It ain't Green Bay. They don't get much snow down in Dallas, but they do get they get enough for a couple of cities up in Green Bay. So we're going to see about his will to play. But before we get into the game, I just got to remind you that these are the same Karens that tried to get our signature play, banned because they got broke wrist energy. Broke wrist energy. This is football. This ain't table tennis. If you want something gone, you got to stop it. like a real man. But they wanted to get the play banned. Not on top of that, they still use it. Just like the Bills. Nasty work. You know, I think they should come up with a rule that anybody that tries to use the tush push and they voted against it, I think they should have a 15-yard penalty or some sort of fine should be levied against the team that voted against the tush push. That's what I think. How have the Bills run the tush push more than any other team in the league and have scored more off the tush push than any other team in the league this year? Huh? And Josh Allen's getting excuses from Shady McCoy. I told y'all about him. He's one of my favorite players. He's one of my favorite Eagles of all time. But let's keep it a beam, man. Let's keep it a beam. The hate that he got towards Jalen, I don't like it. It's par for the course, but you got to watch out for Shady McCoy. His name, he's living up to his name as of late. I hope we run this play at least like 50 times tonight. But getting to the game, you see it. It's the Eagles and Packers. We are 6-2 coming out of the bye, and they are 5-2. They are 3-1 at home. We're playing them at Lambeau Field. They are coming into this game without their superstar tight end, Tucker Kraft. And the spread for this game is 45.5 points. And we are favored by, or we're not favored. We're underdogs by 2.5 points. Okay. I said it. If you haven't watched it, go watch my video on JD5. I explained how the Washington Redskins, how their season would melt down. And I also said how the Packers, their season would play out. And that was week 2. But go watch that video. You know, Josh Jacobs, he's hurt right now. He's splitting carries with their backup Wilson. So if they really want to get it done, they need to lean on him a little bit more, but he's carrying an injury right now. So, you know, I think they're going to continue splitting carries. Jordan Love, he can't keep throwing up that mess. He can't keep throwing up that mess. We are going to get one if he keeps doing that. On the defensive side, we can run the ball against them. I am not completely sold on the running game, our running game being back. I got to see it again. And it looked good against the Giants, but I got to see it more. 1 week out of 7, it's not good enough for me, so I got to see it again against a better quality opponent. Green Bay is that, but Green Bay has shown they are kind of leaky up front against the run. So we're going to see what happens. I think Jalen Hurts and AJ I think they have a big game along with devontasmith and possibly Dallas Goedert. So I think the passing game, even though it's going to be cold, I think we're going to have to pass to win. I'm still not sure about the running game. I hope it's back. I hope the guys up front are healthy, but we're going to see. Kevin Patullo, I got to see it again from him too. Okay? Green Bay's team, they're not that good. They're not that good. Jordan Love, if you get some pressure on him, he's just going to start throwing up some lollipops, and then, you know, we're going to have to capitalize on that. Period, point blank. I'm sure Vic got something whipped up, but I also want to see jalencarter wreck shop. You know, I think after Spitgate, I think that kind of messed with his confidence, whatever, and that kind of took a little bit off of his edge. I need him to get past that. I need him to be that nasty wrecking force, that linchpin of the defense that we need, man. I need Jalencarter to tap back in to that primal side and really, you know, really just wreck shop. Jalen Hurts, I expect another big game from him. Jalen Hitman Hurts.
The excellence of execution.
And just in case you're confused, you know what he's doing.
Smoking on your top 5 tonight.
All right. Jordan Love isn't in the top 5, but I just wanted to push that button. But the score that I got for us tonight, I think it'll be a relatively low-scoring matchup. I'll say 24-16. 24-16, Birds. Yeah, man. I think that's all I got. But I'm dropping a Power Rankings episode. I think it's appropriate at the halfway mark of the season. So, yeah, man. We're back. We're going to make a run at this back-to-back campaign. I think our guys are going to get it done. But it starts tonight against the Packers. We're going to get the dub on the road. Go Birds. And if you don't like that, you know the deal.
Nigga, you going to get down or you going to fucking lay down?